everyone, Darkside Phil here, and welcome to the weekend preview for October 16th, 2011, although when you're watching this, it may already be October 17th, depending on where you are in the world. I always get that, oh Phil, it's not that what day you're saying in the video, and it's always because there's a time difference depending on who's watching the video. So, anyway, as usual, we will recap what I did in the past week, then we will talk about the week coming up and what I have planned, and it is a big week coming up. So I am excited to talk about it. One of the most anticipated games of the year, if not of the past several years, is coming out this week, and I am dying to get my hands on it. So, alright. Real quick, what did I do in this past week? Well, primarily the main game that I played this past week was Dark Souls, and as you know, one of the most controversial playthroughs I've ever done, simply because when I started to play the game, I didn't do any prior research or anything like that, just like I never do. And Dark Souls is such an unforgiving and not really self-explanatory game that if you don't do some additional work, or if you're not paying attention, you don't master the controls within the first hour of the game can really kick your ass. And so the first day I played it, didn't really play it properly, got my ass handed to me, even though I did get fairly far and killed a bunch of bosses. As I played it further into the week, I learned the combat. I learned all the ins and outs of the game that really it was harder to figure out if you didn't look them up. A lot thanks to fan participation and fans watching that first batch of videos and giving me pointers, and a lot of me looking up stuff on online wikis and such, because I could not find the physical strategy guide for Dark Souls anywhere in my state near me. And then finally, as it came to near the end of the week, I just got fed up with the game. The game got extremely difficult, just laying on layer after layer of fucking retardedly difficult waves of different things, whether it was a new enemy that you didn't learn how to fight and could kill you at 1 to 2 hits, whether it was everything poisoning you, whether it was you getting lost like crazy. It was just too much, and I stopped having fun with the game. And when you stop having fun with the game, to the point where you know you're not going to beat it anytime soon. I think I was like not even halfway through the game yet, and you're not having fun, it's just time to stop, because to keep playing is not only going to torture yourself, but for playthrough purposes, people don't want to just see me having a horrible time playing this game, and I just wasn't interested in it anymore. And I'm sure for a lot of people, you know, that's not going to be the case. They like that style of game. I don't, and for me personally, I don't think it's the kind of game that even lends itself to a very good playthrough because of that. So, anyway, ended up stopping playing Dark Souls during the week, and will I ever pick it up again? I don't know. That's up in the air. It may or may not, but I'm not really making a decision on it at this point, okay? In addition to that, on Tuesday, the new release for this week was Dead Rising 2 Off the Record, which is a reimagining of the plot of Dead Rising 2, putting Frank West into the shoes of Chuck Green, basically superimposing him as the main character and protagonist of the game. And I did a full co-op playthrough with John Rambo on that day. It took us 16 plus hours during that day to do that from start to finish. And we did as much as we could. We couldn't do everything, especially because the game has a time limit. And having a time limit, you can't always do everything in the game anyway. But we enjoyed it a lot. We both liked Dead Rising 2. Now, keep in mind the game isn't very different from Dead Rising 2. It's basically just, it's kind of like a director's cut of the game, a collector's edition where you get the best version of the game, plus a new map, some new stages, and some new bosses, slash psychopaths, whatever you want to call them, and a completely different ending from the first version of Dead Rising 2. But yeah, a lot of the gameplay is the same as the original Dead Rising 2. We openly admit that. So check that playthrough out. And then on Saturday, as a special chain, you know, we don't always do stuff like that, we went to New York ComicCon in 2011, and I took 38 videos of footage from ranging from our trip there in the car to relaxing, eating, going around, going to every single booth that we could get our hands on, taking footage of all the video games that were there, and basically just having a good time at the convention and covering it as much as we could. I have gotten some questions about, gee, Phil, there wasn't footage of this game, or there wasn't footage of this game. Well, that's probably because those games weren't there, like some of the most popular ones. Uncharted 3 and Assassin's Creed Revelations, people are asking me, why wasn't there any footage of those games? And I answered this very briefly in one of my videos, but to reiterate, because what they had there was the multiplayer, which everyone already has because they have open betas already. So you would have seen nothing new. It's the same exact gameplay. There was no reason to show that. Someone asked me about the new Transformers game, Fall of Cybertron. There was zero footage of that game there. They had big advertisements for it, and nothing about it at all. Instead, they had, you know, the last game that came out, and then they had Dark of the Moon. It was, you know, it was stupid. They had Dark of the Moon movie footage and shit. Like, well, I don't want to see this. This is an old fucking movie. I want to know about the new game, and they had nothing about really the new game. So, check out our con coverage. It's pretty exciting to see what games are coming up, maybe for the first time, you know, especially in person. And then, today, which is Sunday for me, I don't know when you're going to be watching this video, I did the Dragon Age 2 DLC not Way of the Warrior, Mark of the Warrior. God, don't let it be Way of the Warrior. That game sucked monkey ass. But, Mark of the Warrior, DLC that introduces a new character, voiced by Felicia Day, who a lot of people apparently are like, they love this girl because she was in this series, The Guild or whatever, which I've never seen, never heard of. And I guess she does some voice acting for other stuff. So she did the voice acting for this character. And it was a pretty decent DLC, I'll say. Pretty decent length, a little bit over. It's probably roughly around 3 hours long. What you would expect for a standard DLC of this sort. You know, and having a new character, going through a couple new dungeons, it was okay. A couple weird choices with some puzzles and stuff in it. And a whole area where you're trying to sneak around like it's Metal Gear. Made no sense. But outside of that, it was a pretty solid DLC. So now, what's coming up this week? Well, here's the deal. The biggest release of the week by far, and the one that I've been alluding to, the one that everyone wants to see, we've all been waiting for it since the first of this series came out 2 years ago, is Batman Arkham City. Okay, the sequel to Arkham Asylum. We're all excited because Arkham Asylum really, for the first time ever, I think it took a superhero and it put them into a game that it wouldn't have mattered if the game was that superhero or not. The game was fucking good, okay? And it really was true to the Batman character. Not only the Batman character, but the Batman lore. All the supervillains that were in it were true to themselves, and it really was a good, solid entry, and I think everyone was like, yes, one of our favorite games of the year. It was definitely one of my favorite games of 2009. And so now finally the sequel is out this week, and I'm very excited. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let you know there is a midnight release of this game at my local GameStop, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make it. The only things I could foresee is, like, if I all of a sudden get sick or something, or I don't know. I can't even really think of anything, but just in case, I just say, okay, there's a 100% chance that I'll be doing the gameplay right away. But I'm planning on attending the midnight release of this at Monday midnight, which will be Tuesday basically morning. And when I get the game, I want to bring it back here and play it for several hours to basically start the playthrough and get it going, and maybe be one of the first people on the internet to do that. Of course, I'm sure people are going to spoil, and they'll have stolen copies of the game, and people who broke Street Date for no reason because they went to Walmart and convinced some fucking dumbass guy to sell them the game. I know that this happens, so I know I'm not going to be the first person on the internet to have a playthrough, but I would like to at least try to be at the forefront of people who are doing this. So I'm getting the game at midnight Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to try to get back here as soon as possible, start playing, and so in the wee hours of the morning on Tuesday, you will start to see the Batman Arkham City playthrough go up. And I plan to play it for several hours. How long? Basically depends on how long I can stay awake, you know what I mean? So what does this mean? This means that basically right now, it is Sunday night. It's actually Sunday night, 8 p.m. right now. What I'm planning to do right now is pretty much relax, watch some TV. There's actually a TNA pay-per-view on right now that I'm probably going to tune into a little bit late. Relax and do that. And I'm going to sleep in, like, on Monday, like as long as I can, so that when I wake up, it's late, and I can say, oh, it's 6 or 7 p.m. or whatever. Whenever I get out, I get ready to go for the day, and I say, well, I don't have a lot of time to do anything before midnight, and I'll make my plans. I'll probably get something to eat, get everything ready, so when I get back here with the game, we can just start going. So what that means, though, is that there's not going to be many, if any, new videos on Monday. If anything, the one thing I think I might do is a video of over the past few months, since John Rambo and I discovered those game exchange stores here in Connecticut, we picked up a lot of classic games, and I've been building my collection of classic games considerably. And what I'd like to show you is some of the games that I've picked up over the past several months, and what I plan to do with those games, some ideas I've been having in my head for series coming up later on, and if there's a down week and there's not really much new going on, I could do these kind of filler weeks of interesting retro stuff. People loved Mega Week last, what was it, August? I think it was the first week of August that I did Mega Week. I had overwhelming fan response, positive fan response for Mega Week, and I'm looking to do it again sometime, so more on that when I make that video. That'll probably be the only video you'll see up on Monday, besides maybe this one if you don't see it, you know, by the end of Sunday. So, but it's all for a good reason. It's so that I can be rested and ready, so I can play Batman Arkham Asylum as soon as I can and play it as long as I can before I need to take a break. So that'll be coming up on Tuesday. What else comes out this week? Well, there's the very first Deus Ex Human Revolution DLC, The Missing Link, comes out this week, and I probably will be doing that after I beat Arkham City, okay? So keep an eye out for that. I'm excited to see what they've done with that DLC, and I love Deus Ex Human Revolution. I'm looking to jump back into that game. There are a couple other releases this week, but it's not anything really major, and it's not something that would lend itself good to a solo playthrough either. So for example, Ratchet & Clank All for One comes out this week. The game is made for co-op, so really for me to try to play that game by myself is going to be a waste. That's something that's probably better for when I get a chance to do it with John Rambo, okay? Supposedly, and I haven't confirmed this, maybe someone can confirm it now that you're watching the video, Serious Sam 3 was supposed to come out this week. I'm almost positive it was delayed, but I'm not 100% because I haven't had a chance to check. So if anyone can take a look and see if you can get the official word on Serious Sam 3 and when that game's really coming out, but it was originally supposed to come out this week. Another game coming out this week, again, I haven't checked on this one. It was called like Power Up Heroes or something like that, which is supposed to be a Connect game where you're a fighter. I don't know, but I've reserved it. I'm going to see if it's there. And one game that I forgot, or I didn't really forget, but I didn't know until after the fact that it even was coming out, is Hulk Hogan's Main Event for the Kinect. And John Rambo's been bugging me about this game. He's like, let me play these games, The Gunstringer and Rise of Nightmares. Well, we didn't even play this Hulk Hogan game, which is, you know, it's probably really bad, but it'll be funny. I was like, I didn't even know this game was out. So if that's in stores this week, I may grab that too. But the thing is, these are all co-op games. I just literally named like 4 games that all lend themselves to co-op over playing them solo. So I'm not really sure what or how I'm going to be playing these games, and more on that as the week progresses, and I see what actually did come out this week, and I see what these games really are, and we'll go from there. Saturday, John Rambo will be here for co-op gameplay, and we're not sure what we're doing yet, but obviously it's going to be one of these things that we're talking about here that are all co-op games. Sunday, there will be a tournament in Stratford, Connecticut, again at the Gaming Etc. store. New Challengers is the name of the tournament. I will be there. Oof. And once again, just like the last one, if they only have Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition and Marvel vs. Capcom 3, then I'm not going to play, because I don't play those games. But if they have Third Strike, I'll play that. But right now, they haven't officially announced Third Strike, so I don't know what's going on with that. But I will be there, probably doing the live commentary the entire time, just like the last tournament that we did a month ago. And again, this is a Don't Blow This production, so go to twitch.tv/don'tblowthis. I'm sorry, twitch.tv/don'tblowthis. That's where the stream will be on Sunday. There will be a live stream of the event, and I'm excited to do. I like how to do the commentary. I do. I like doing the commentary, and the stream's looking a lot more professional. I can't wait for this to get even bigger than it is. So check that out on Sunday. I'll probably be talking about it again as it arrives, just to remind everyone. So that's the week coming up, a big week. I mean, Arkham City, I think is going to be huge. I can't wait to get my hands on it, and then we'll go from there, and we'll see what else we'll do. Oh, the Deus Ex expansion, yes, I'll be doing the DLC, and then after that, we'll have to play it by ear. Saturday and Sunday, I'm booked. So, all right, so that's it for the weekend preview. I will see you guys for gameplay footage this week. Thanks a lot. Arkham City, here we go. I'm pumped. See you then.